Hello and welcome to another course on data science with Python. Today we will see probability distributions. This is part 1 and we will cover the discrete type of probability distributions. This lecture will include the understanding of basics of probability distribution, then discrete versus continuous probability distribution, understand mass density function, probability distribution function, and cumulative distribution function, and to explore different types of discrete probability distributions. So let us understand what is random variable. So a random variable x takes on defined set of values with different probabilities. For example, if you roll a die, the outcome is random, that is not fixed, and there are 6 possible outcomes, each of which occur with probability of 1/6. So suppose in every trial you get 1. Suppose this is a die and you get only 1 every time. So this will not be called as a random variable and the die will be called as a biased die. Another one example, if you poll people about their voting preferences, the percentage of sample that responds yes on proposition 100 is also a random variable. The percentage will be slightly differently every time you poll. Now the probability is how frequently we expect different outcomes to occur if we repeat the experiments over and over. So these random variables can be discrete or continuous variables. So discrete random variables have a countable number of outcomes. That is number of heads, number of occurring 1, 2, 3 on a die. Then continuous random variables have an infinite quantum of possible values. The example may include the values of blood pressure, weight of the person, the speed of the car, and height of the person. So let us understand the constructing a probability distribution for a random variable. Now in this video, we will cover only discrete type. Now let x be the number of heads you are trying to target after 3 flips of a fair coin. Now possible outcomes may include you get heads on the first try, you get again heads on the second try, and you get heads on the third try. Similarly, tail, head, and head. So you have total 8 possible outcomes in this experiment. So we are targeting the number of heads after the 3 flip of a fair coin, right? So let us calculate the probability of x is equal to 0, means no heads in an experiment. So that is only this case, not this case, all the 3 are tails. So this is 1/8. Let us calculate, you get number of heads equal to 1. So this is the first case in which head is 1. Similarly, this is the second case in which head is 1, the third case, and okay, there are only 3 cases, so that is 3/8. Let us understand, when x compares with 2, the number of heads is equal to 2. So which comes out to be again 3/8. That is, this is the one case. There are 2 heads. This is the second case and this is the third case. That probability comes out to be 3/8. You already know the formula for calculating the probability. number of possible outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. So similarly, x is equal to 3, that probability is 1 by 8. So if you plot a graph of value of x, that is number of heads appearing in an experiment versus its probability. So you can see that x is equal to 0, you have 1 by 8 as a probability. When x equal to 1, you have 3 by 8 as a probability for 2 and 3. So this is called as probability mass function. Now let us understand what is probability distribution function. So in probability distribution function, you have discrete variable as well as continuous variable. So we have seen the example of probability mass function in the discrete case. In case of continuous variable, it is called as probability density function. But this part we will cover in the next video. In this video, we will only focus on the discrete type of probability. So we have calculated the probability mass function. Now let us see how to calculate cumulative distribution function. So constructing a cumulative distribution for a discrete random variable. Again, the same example we have. We have already constructed probability mass function. Now how to convert this probability mass function in cumulative distribution function. So what we have done, so this probability is nothing but x to be less than equal to 8. That is, this case is number of heads is less than or equal to 1. The last case, this is number of heads that is less than or equal to 3. So you can see that the first probability is added over here. These two probabilities are added over here in this case, and these three probabilities are added in this case. So in the end, you will get the summation of all possible probabilities, that is equals to 1. So in this way, we can convert cumulative distribution function from probability mass function. Let us take one more example of a dice roll. So you know that probability of occurring 1 in a die is 1 by 6 because there are total 6 faces of the die and possible outcome is 1. So 1 by 6. Similarly for 2 you will have 1 by 6. Similarly for 3, 4, 5, 6 you will have 1 by 6 as a probability. Now let us convert this into cumulative distribution function. You can clearly see that the value of x less than equal to 2, so this will be added up over here. Similarly, x less than equals to 3, it will add up over here, and likewise this will go. So you can see that it is something like a step. So suppose you want to estimate the number of heads less than or equal to 3. So how to calculate? So 3 is here. So probability of x equals to 1 plus probability of x equals to 2 plus probability of x equals to 3. That comes out to be 0.5. Right? So let us take a practice problem. Now which of the following will be called as probability functions? So you have given three cases, that is f of x equal to 0.25 for x equals to 9, 10, 11, 12. Similarly the other two. So the condition to say a function as probability function is if the summation of f of x compares with 1. So let us calculate for the first case. So for x equal to 9, since there is no involvement of x in the f of x function, you will have the same value for 9, 10, 11 and 12. So you can see that 0.25 plus 0.25 plus 0.25 is equal to 1. And all the values of f of x are positive, and hence you can call this as a probability function. Now let us take second example. f of x is equal to 3 minus x by 2 for egg 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have calculated the values for 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Now this also sums to 1, but there is a negative value. So you know that you cannot have a negative value in the probability. So this is not a probability function. Let us take another problem. So number of ships to arrive at harbor on any given day is a random variable represented by x. The probability distribution for x is given, that is x equal to 10 is 0.4, x equal to 11 is 0.2 and so on. Now we have to find the probability that on a given day exactly 14 ships arrive. Means you have to calculate probability of x equal to 14. So from the table you can see that it is 0.1. Then next we have to calculate at least 12 ships arrive. We have to calculate x greater than or equal to 12. So that is 0.2 plus 0.1 plus 0.1. So that is 0.4. And next at the most 11 ships. So that is probability of x less than or equal to 11. That is 0.4 plus 0.2. That comes out to be 0.6. Now let us understand various discrete probability distributions. So there are 4 distributions which are popular. So binomial distribution, geometric distribution, hypergeometric distribution and Poisson distribution. So let us understand the binomial distribution. So a binomial distribution can be thought of as simply the probability of a success or failure outcome in an experiment or survey that is repeated multiple times. So for example, a coin toss has only 2 possible outcomes, heads or tails, and taking the test could have 2 possible outcomes, pass or fail. So this is a type of binomial distribution. The formula for binomial distribution is p of x ncx p to the power x into 1 minus p n minus x, where p of x is a binomial distribution probability, n is a number of finite trials, x is the total number of success in finite trials, and p is the probability of success in each trial. So one thing you have to remember that in the binomial distribution, it is with a replacement. Let us understand the binomial distribution with the help of a problem. A coin is tossed 10 times. What is the probability of getting exactly 6 heads? So using this formula, we have to calculate probability of x, that is equal to 6. So using the same formula, there are n is equals to 10 and x is equals to 6. And you know that a fair coin will have probability of success as 0.5. So putting up these values in the equation, you get probability of exactly x equal to 6 as 0.205. So what are the real life examples? So if a new drug is introduced to cure a disease, it either cures a disease, means success, or it does not cure the disease, that is a failure. Similarly, if you purchase a lottery ticket, you are either going to win money or you are not. Again, the success and failure. Similarly, anything you can think of can only be success or failure can be represented by binomial distribution. The next type of distribution is geometric distribution. Now, geometric distribution is a probability distribution of number of tails one must flip, that is before the first head, using a weighted coin. So a series of Bernoulli's trial is conducted until a success occurs. So means in this we basically calculate the number of failures before getting the success. Before getting the success, right? So it is useful for modeling situations in which it is necessary to know that how many attempts are likely necessary for success achieving, and thus has application to population modeling, econometrics, return on investment of research, and so on. The formula for calculating the probability of geometric distribution, that is equals to P into 1 minus P raised to K, where P is the probability of success and K is the number of failures occur before the first success. Let us understand this geometric distribution with the help of an example. A die is rolled until 1 occurs. So your success definition is you have to roll the die until it gives you the 1. So what is the resulting geometric distribution? So probability of success of a single trial is 1 by 6. You already know that. So the formula can directly be used like probability of x is equals to 0. So that will be P is 1 by 6. So and K is 0 in this case. So you will get 0.166. If x is 1, then you will get 0.139. If x is equals to 2, you will get 116, and so on. So you can develop the graph of geometric distribution by varying the parameter of k. You can see that if the number of trials are increased, the probability is getting decreased. So this graph is the geometric distribution graph. Let us have practical applications. Now let us understand a programmer has a 90% chance of finding a bug every time he compiles his code, and it takes him 2 hours to rewrite his code every time he discovers a bug. What is the probability that he will finish his program by the end of his workday? Assume that a workday is 8 hours and that the programmer compiles his code immediately at the beginning of the day. The programmer is having 8 hours. Now you have to define what is the success for you and what is the failure for you. So success is a bug-free compilation of a code, and a failure, that is discovery of a new bug. So depending on the given data, that is the working hours is 8 hours and he requires 2 hours to rewrite his code every time he discovers a bug. So the programmer is allowed to have 0 failures, 1 failure, 2 failure, or maximum 3 failure, because if 4 failures occur, so it will consume his 4 hours into 2 hours, that is 8 hours, right? So maximum failure he could have is only 3 failures, so that he can finish his program by the end of his work day. So required probability will be probability of x is equals to 0 plus probability of x is equals to 1 plus probability of x is equals to 2 plus probability of x is equal to 3. So by applying the formula, you get that the value of required probability is 0.344. So depending on the value of probability, a programmer could decide whether to give his 8 hours for this work or utilize these 8 hours in different kinds of work, which is a prioritized work. The next type of distribution is hypergeometric distribution. The hypergeometric distribution is a probability distribution that is very similar to binomial distribution. Only difference is in hypergeometric distribution, sampling is done without replacement. So if you pick up a card from a deck of 52 cards, so your next trial will be 52 minus 1. That is 51 will be available for the trial. If you pick up 4 more cards, then your next available sample will be only 47. So this is the example of hypergeometric distribution. A sample of size n is randomly selected without replacement from a population of n items. Now in the population, k items can be classified as successes and n minus k items can be classified as failures. The formula for hypergeometric distribution is kcx into n minus k into cnx divided by ncn. So in this way, the probability of a hypergeometric distribution can be calculated. Let us understand this with the help of a program. Suppose we randomly select 5 cards without replacement from any ordinary deck of playing cards. What is the probability of getting exactly 2 red cards? Using the formula, let us understand what is the given data. So we know that n is 52, then k is 26 because there are 26 red cards and 26 black cards. So value of k is 26. You are drawing 5 cards, so n is 5, and you want 2 red cards, so x becomes 2. So required probability will be 26c2 multiplied by 26c3 divided by 52c5. So that comes out to be 0.32513. That is the probability of getting exactly 2 red cards. The next and very important type of distribution is Poisson's distribution. The Poisson distribution is a discrete probability distribution of the number of events occurring in a given time period, given the average number of times the event occurs over that time period. So that the formula for Poisson's distribution is x is equals to probability of x is equal to k, that is equals to lambda raised to k into e to the power minus lambda divided by k factorial. So lambda is basically a shape parameter which indicates the average number of events in a given time interval. K is the random variable assuming value 0 to n. So examples of Poisson distribution could be the number of customers arriving in 1 hour, or number of customers arriving after 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., or it can be the number of customers arriving at a petrol pump. So there are a number of practical applications of a Poisson distribution. So let us take a practice problem. So in the World Cup, an average of 2.5 goals are scored in each game. Model the situation with a Poisson distribution and calculate the probability that k goals are scored in a game. So in this case, the lambda is 2.5. So let us calculate that no goal is scored, that is x equals to 0. So that comes out to be 0.082. One goal is scored, that is 0.205. 2 goals are scored, exactly 2 goals are scored, that is 0.257. Exactly 3 goals are scored is 0.213. And similarly, you can calculate the probability of n goals are scored over the time period, That is, whatever the value of n will be there, you have to take that value. So if you calculate for 10 x equal k equal to 10, so you can see that approximately it is like this, right? So you can see that at k equals to 2, you have the maximum probability, that is 0.257. So there is no upper limit on the value of k for this formula, though the probability rapidly approaches to 0 as k increases. You can see that if the value of k is increased, it is rapidly approaching to the 0. So I hope you have understood the discrete types of probability distribution. Thank you for watching this video, and email me your request to untwistedlearning@gmail.com, and do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you. Have a nice day and happy learning.